ライス
Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is brought to you by this viewer who wanted to see food from Quintessential Quintuplets. Actually, believe it or not, this comment was what made me watch the anime, so thank you very much. And today we're making food from the cook-off between Miku and Nino, basically the battle of best girls. Who's gonna win? Best girl is Nino. So let's get cooking. We're going to start with Nino's Dutch baby pancake with seasonal vegetables and ham. The omurice that Miku makes will be in later, and the timestamp will be in the description. So for the Dutch baby pancake, you'll need a cast iron pan. Since I don't have one, I'm going to use a pie plate and it'll work pretty much the same. You'll need to preheat your oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And while that is preheating, we'll put the pie plate directly into the oven and let that heat up. So for the batter, you can put all the ingredients in a blender and it'll work just fine. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to use a hand mixer and a bowl. So first, we'll need half a cup of all-purpose flour. And to that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then a dash of salt, like a 1/4 teaspoon, or just estimate that, and 2 eggs, half a cup of milk. You can use any milk, I believe. It doesn't have to be dairy. And lastly, vanilla extract, about half a teaspoon. So now we're going to blend this up until there's no lumps to be seen. So that's looking pretty good. It's going to be a nice watery batter, like a crepe batter. So the oven is nice and preheated. We're going to take our hot pan right out of the oven. And into this pan, we're going to drop 2 tablespoons of butter, which will be quite a bit, but we want to be generous with this. So whole knob of butter, and get that nice and coated all over your pan. To your hot pan, we're going to pour in our batter. Now we're going to toss that in the oven and bake it for 20 minutes. Now that the Dutch baby is baking in the oven, we're going to prep our ingredients, our toppings. So hers has seasonal vegetables, which happens to be tomatoes and zucchini. We're not baking this in the oven with the Dutch baby because the weight will cause it to collapse and it won't fluff up. So for the zucchini, it's going to be thinly sliced. Okay. And as for the tomato, they're going to be some small wedges. So wedges about this size should be okay. So in a pan, we're just going to cook our vegetables slightly, like sauteed. And this is only to make sure it's cooked. Like that, it's not a big deal. You're just cooking it. And you don't need this much vegetables, it's just their toppings. So let's just let that cook and we'll work on our sauce. Okay, so in the anime, there seems to be some kind of white sauce on the top of the Dutch baby. So I'm going to say is bechamel, and we're just gonna make a quick bechamel for the sauce. We're gonna heat up a pot and put 2 tablespoons of butter and melt that into your pot. Once your butter is melted and bubbling, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Boom. And we're going to cook the butter in the flour for a little bit. Once it becomes a golden yellow, we can add some milk. Let's add a splash of milk. See that right away it thickens up, so we'll need to add more milk. And we kind of do this until we can adjust the consistency to make a nice creamy sauce. And as you're making the sauce, we're going to season it with salt and a little bit of nutmeg. Since we know that Nino is so classy, we're going to use some truffle salt. So 1 pinch of truffle salt. Let's add 1 more pinch for that extra nice salty truffle flavor. And a sprinkle of nutmeg. Right, and we'll continue whisking that. Now our bechamel is done. You can see it's nice and smooth and just thick enough. Now it's time to plate, the best part. So here's the Dutch baby. The sides are a little bit burnt, but you know, it has the classic Dutch baby look. We're going to start with 2 slices of ham, and you know, being that fancy ass bitch she is, we're going to use prosciutto. And it looks like prosciutto, so it has to be. So we're gonna put 2 slices just on one side. We've got a prosciutto, and she has 2 leaves. So I'm using these Boston lettuce right here, 3 tomatoes, and 3 zucchini pieces. Okay, in the middle of all that, she has some kind of white sauce. And here's our beautiful bechamel. Here it is, Nino's Dutch baby pancake with seasonal vegetables and ham. So let's get started on Miku's omurice. First, we're going to cook a cup of medium grain rice. So the omurice prep is going to be super simple because, you know, we just made a Dutch baby. We're not going to do all the jazz. And Miku's not a cook either, so it'll be fine. So the rice, in the anime, the color looks brown, so I'm going to assume it's curry rice. And what I've got here is an instant curry pack, and it has 9 different vegetables. So we have our cooked rice, and I'm just going to mix the entire rice with the curry. Ooh, this curry is really orange. What the heck? So we'll just mix the curry with the rice. Okay, well, here's our curry rice. What do you say? Not bad, huh? Now let's move to the egg. So first we're going to heat up a non-stick pan, and as we're heating up, we're going to whisk up 3 eggs. And this is the portion for 2 omurices. Okay, so now our pan is warmed up. We're going to pour in half of this egg to make 1 thin layer. And that's going to cook fairly fast, so let's put some rice right in the middle. Okay, and let's roll it up. Oh no, did I break the egg? Guess what? It's fine. It's canon. It's because she makes broken omurice, and you know, that just makes things easier for all of us. It's done. Let's plate it. So here is Miku's omurice. And let's not forget the final touches, some nice healthy squirts of ketchup. Ooh, right off the bat, very canon. Is that it? I think that's it. So we have Nino and Miku. Now we gotta eat it and see what I say, not what Usagi says. I think the omurice is going to taste good. Why wouldn't it?
Oh.
That's really good. She didn't do anything wrong. She can't do wrong. She's a good girl. Now let's try the Dutch baby pancake. Let's see how this is.
どっちも普通にうまいな。
え？
本当だ。うん。どっちもうまいぞ。
So, who won the battle? I don't know. I think it's up to you to decide who is your best girl. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos in the future that are from your requests. Bye!
Got you thinking.